here for CAA football, the Blitz, as we continue.
And he may go the distance. Terrence
You're going to put yourself in a situation and win a lot of football games.
CAA football, the Blitz, continues with our 11 teams in 11 days. I'm Bobby Broyles, joined by my colleague Scott Meyer, and today we take a look at the Delaware Blue Hens. This team, Scott, a season before was coming off a national championship appearance. They missed out on the playoffs last season at 7-4, but finished the season on a 3-game winning streak.
Yeah, you talk about that 3-game winning streak. Go back to the 7-4 record. 6 of those come against Division I AA FCS opponents. That other one, a win over Westchester. But inside of those 6 wins, Towson, Old Dominion, both top playoff contenders, playoff teams from last year. So Delaware has something to lean on looking back, but it's one of those things. They didn't make the playoffs because that's 6 versus 7. The committee likes to see that 7 wins against FCS opponents as opposed to 6, and they didn't have the opportunity to get another one playing the Navy game at the FBS level. Had they won that game, they would have all likelihood been in.
Head coach Keeler recently talked about his team on how they finished last year and the expectations for the upcoming season.
But I thought we had a pretty good team, and I wish we would have gotten the playoffs because I think we could have done some damage. Lose a lot of very talented guys in the offensive line, probably one of the better offensive lines we had. Most of our defense is back, so I think we feel really good where we could be defensively. I think we feel really good where we could be with special teams. I think the mystery is going to be with the offense. Lost Trevor Sasek in the first game of the season last year. He's coming back. Tim Donnelly came in and played admirably. And then we also have a transfer, Trent Hurley, coming in. So a little mystery at the quarterback spot and a little mystery with the offensive line. So early on, we're going to have to gel offensively for us to be a good football team.
As you heard Coach Keeler talk about the quarterback competition, he will have a very tough decision to make before week 1.
There's no doubt about that, Bobby. Trevor Sasek, Tim Donnelly, Trent Hurley. Those are the 3 guys that he'll be looking at this preseason and determine one of those names going forward. He's going to have to make that decision early. I know he's the kind of guy that doesn't like to go into a season with multiple guys. Sasek is a very good-looking quarterback. He's got the height, he's got the arm, those kind of things. He did well in the early part of last season. Tim Donnelly has a lot of experience, came in and performed admirably for him. And then Trent Hurley, kind of the transfer guy. Transfers sometimes work out there at Delaware. You go back to Pat Devlin. But that is a very big decision for them to make, one that I know Coach Keeler really wants to have figured out early on in the preseason.
Well, Keeler on how he is going to decide on his quarterback for the 2012 season.
We just found out recently that Trevor's going to make it back for training camp, which is exciting because after he got the surgery, there was a lot of expectation that he may never play again. Trent came in and did a nice job this spring, and obviously, Timmy has 9 starts under his belt from last year, so we have 3 guys that will be competing. The tough thing is to get reps for 3 guys, so we're going to have to be pretty creative as an offensive staff to make sure that we do a good job evaluating. And then I don't want to go down to, a day before the first game and have 3 guys left in the mix. We're going to have to make some decisions fairly early in training camp, and then from there maybe go down to 2 or maybe make a decision early. So, but the good news is we have 3 guys who can play.
Once again, Coach Keeler obviously with a tough choice to make on who is going to be the signal caller for the opening game this season. Scott, what are the keys for the Delaware Blue Hens for 2012 to get back into the playoff picture?
The biggest key is right there, what we've been talking about. Who's your quarterback? I think right now he's going to lean on the defense, who he feels has some pieces returning that'll be very good. Special teams, a lot of guys coming back, especially in the punter and the kicker. So lean on those pieces while you figure out your quarterback position, and then determine the identity. We heard him talk about that identity of creating the offense around the quarterback, and then they have that unbelievable weapon in Andrew Pierce. Let's get him the ball, get him going downfield, let him work into the game. But I think the biggest thing right now, that determining the quarterback, and that's going to be the big question for Delaware and how it goes into this season.
Delaware opened their season at home against Westchester Thursday night, August the 30th, then play host to Delaware State Saturday, September the 8th at 3:30, a game that can be seen nationally on the NBC Sports Network. Scott and I will be back tomorrow as we are down to our final 4 teams in the 11 Teams in 11 Days series. The New Hampshire Wildcats are on deck as Sean McDonald will be looking to take his team to the playoffs for a 9th straight season. For Scott Meyer, I'm Bobby Broyles, and you're watching CAA Football, The Blitz.